Okay, fuck, let me do it again. We're ready?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay, let's go. So before I became Lucifena, I was Stephanie Sanson, and I was just a little Latino girl growing up in LA, and I wanted to be an actress. Growing up, I always saw my dad playing drums, and when he was growing up, he was in a band with my grandfather, and they would play Spanish music. My sister, she was a singer, and she was an incredible singer, still is. And growing up, I was naturally like really introverted, but seeing like my family do music, for music to be blasting all the time and live instruments to be playing inspired me to kind of want to be a performer in some way. And I didn't start out like wanting to do music when I was little. I just wanted to act, and I would watch movies all the time, and I was like, I want to do that. So I would learn like monologue when I was like, I would say about like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh my God, you're my new nanny. It's Ray. Nobody calls me Lorraine.
But one day, everything changed. From wanting to be an actress, I became a little girl that wanted to be a rock star. So my dad went to Jimmy Kimmel to go see Ozzy Osbourne perform. At the end of the show, Ozzy Osbourne gave tickets to everybody. So my dad came home and was like, hey, we're gonna go to Ozfest in a couple days. Had no idea what Ozfest was.
Are you ready for another year of motherfucking insanity? Ozfest 2000.
And I remember walking into the festival and I was like, holy fuck, this is insane. I was seeing mosh pits, I was people lighting things on fire. It was crazy. That was the first time I saw women on stage too, doing heavy music. That show just stuck with me, and it's such a core memory. And when I was leaving the festival, they were throwing compilation CDs, and one almost hit me. So I picked it up and I took it home with me, and I listened to that CD religiously. So after I left that concert, it changed me entirely. I went from a little girl wanting to be an actress to full-fledged metalhead, and was only listening to metal bands, and that kind of made me dive more into the scene and discover more bands that I liked. It's when like MySpace was really big at the time, and I discovered bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Alisana, like so many good emo bands. And then I started to go to more like underground shows in LA. In East LA, there's like a really big like punk hardcore scene. I started writing songs. I didn't start off singing, I started off screaming, because that Ozfest CD that I took home, it was mainly all guys screamers on there. So I was copying that, and I was like, okay, I can do that. So that's what I'm gonna do when I start a band. And when I wrote my first couple of songs, I showed my sister, and she was like, let's do this together. Let's write, and I will do singing and you can do the screams. That's when we started our first little project, and it was called The Terror Twins, and it was just me and my sister and a guitar that we had. We only had an acoustic guitar at first, so we were writing these like emo, screamo songs on an acoustic guitar and just like winging it. And then we were like, okay, let's like level this up. Let's get an electric guitar. Let's try to find actual musicians to play with us. We were so young at the time, but we were like really determined to make it happen. So that's when we started You Only Live Once.
Hi, we are
You Only Live Once.
We found musicians in LA, other young kids that were down to play with us. And that's when we started playing shows. We would play in backyard shows a lot in the beginning in East LA. We were like, let's try to level it up. Let's play some venues in our city, playing like Chain Reaction, which was a great venue at the time for any screamo hardcore bands. If you're from California, you know where that venue is. And from that venue, we started playing in West Hollywood, at the Whiskey, Key Club, the Roxy. So I wanted to get on a bigger platform to share my music and kind of what I was doing, and try to promote in any way possible besides just social media and doing shows in LA. So that's when I had the idea to go on TV, and that's when I went on America's Got Talent when I was 14, and I was screaming one of my original songs on there. Then later I went on X Factor with my sister, and we wanted to promote our band name on there.
your names are?
We're called You Only Live Once.
How old are you both?
I'm 15. I'm 19.
Then I went on American Idol when I was 16. So from all those TV shows, like the main goal was just to get the genre out there, because at the time it was just really like put away, underground, if you know, you know. But I really wanted to put it in the face of like everyone in America. And I felt like that was the best possible way to do it. Push like pop culture in a new direction and just make a fucking statement. It was super crazy, and there was a lot of ridicule and shock, and I was so young at the time, so when I would go back to school, people would be like, oh my God, what were you doing on there? Like, why did you do that? And then some people were like, that was so sick. But yeah, I think just putting myself out there, I just really wasn't scared to do that. So as like the TV show clips started to go viral, we got to play Warped Tour, which was a really big accomplishment for us, and we were so happy and excited. But shortly after that, we broke up, and that was that. And I kind of had to take a break for a while and figure out if I was going to keep doing music or how I was going to do it. So during the time of not making music, I ran into a friend. It's like, do you remember Morgoth? He's a producer now. He's working with a lot of like the SoundCloud rappers right now. I DM'd him, and that's kind of how everything started. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, like, I think I want to do music again. Would you be down to produce for me? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. When we were working together, we made 30 plus songs, and we were really merging the two worlds together. That's when we kind of merged like the rap with the metal, and we dropped our first project together. It was called Morning Star, and then we dropped another full length, which was called Mood Swings. And that was kind of the start of Lucifena. Try to start something new that wasn't being done, because when we started dropping music, trap metal wasn't even a thing really. And probably our second song we made was one called On Site. And that was like a super experimental song. We merged like trap beats with metal and screams and kind of like rap cadences. So we were just, when we started working together, we were just trying so much different shit to figure out like what would the sound be for our beginning project. So yeah, that was like a lot of fun, and that was kind of the beginning of Lucifena. And we were so like locked in. We made like 30 plus songs. We were just recording and writing, and he kind of was a huge part of like the beginning of my music for Lucifena. And he just was super good at just introducing me to all the artists that he was already working with. So all the collaborations just started happening, and like Sid from Slipknot, Noah from Bad Omens, Frankie from Amur, Franz from Attila, Little Xan, and a bunch of other people. Then I got a message from one of my producer friends. His name was Bass God. That was like, hey, let's do a session. It was a minute since I've recorded anything. So I was like, okay, I'm down. Let's do it. So I pulled up, and we made this song called Tyrant. Our other friend, Kevin, came cold to produce on it.
You got Lucifena. I met Lucifena in LA, listening to a different type of music. I'm vibing off the music, and then I heard Lucy scream. And so I told her, I was like, send me some of your shit. And she sent me some, and the first song I heard was a song called Tyrant. And I was like, what the f-? I was like, Lucy, can you send me the stems? I'll just put some guitar, let me put a guitar solo. That turned into me putting a verse on there. And then I found out that for some reason I thought Lucy was signed already. And so then that led to me finding out she wasn't signed.
I was like, I'm definitely not signed.
Yeah. and you already know what goes on from there. I was like, well, now you are.
So I had gotten a call about 2 weeks before Wayne's Carter 6, and it was such an iconic tour. It was amazing. It was my first time ever playing an arena, multiple arenas, such a like life-changing memory. So yeah, stay tuned, and thank you so much for all the people that have been supportive. I just want to create music and make an impact. Consistency like overcomes failure. I'm going to continue to do that, and that's the whole point of Lucifena. And with Young Money and Wayne, it's just been such a great experience, and I'm really excited to drop this new project that I'm working on. We're gonna keep it heavy, but we're also gonna keep it merging hip hop, merging dance, merging indie, merging shoegaze. It's a lot, but it's gonna be really sick, and I'm super excited about it. And more rappers are merging with hardcore bands or metal bands, so I know like we're starting a movement. Yeah, Young Money rock shit. I think we're good.
Cool. Yeah, that was good.